So, have you seen this new advisory from Mason Global Enterprises? It's all over the news. They're talking about vigilance, ethical engagement, and making sure everyone gets a fair shot, especially in these wild political and social times.
I did catch that. What struck me was how they're tying in everything from community dynamics to international relations. Mason Global isn't just preaching sounds, like they're trying to set new ground rules for how people and organizations should behave.
And it's not just vague talk either. They're really pushing for adaptability and sticking to constitutional principles, which feels like a direct challenge to all the noise and chaos we keep seeing in the public sphere.
Absolutely. And I love how they specifically mention naturalized citizens. That's a part of the conversation that doesn't often get the spotlight, but it's so important for real equity.
That actually reminds me, there's a part in the advisory where they question all these invisible influences on public figures and the media. Like, who's really pulling the strings, and is privilege keeping certain folks on top?
Yeah, they even reference Senator Schumer and this whole idea of maintaining privilege. It almost reads like a detective novel, trying to unpack who benefits from these hidden alliances and why.
And did you notice they talk about Numa almost like these intangible entities representing people or maybe influencing them behind the scenes? I swear it's a wild metaphor, but oddly fitting in today's world.
It's such an unusual angle, but it got me thinking about how social capital and reputation can be shaped by things we don't even see. Sometimes, it's not just the loudest voice in the room, but the quiet background deals, or even an unspoken vibe that shifts everything.
Funny you say that, because the advisory gets really personal. So Darian Mason himself talks about separating his own identity from these so-called Numa. He's basically saying, hey, I'm not whatever's been using my name or reputation the last 7 years.
What's wild is the mention of holding on to intangible assets, almost like your ethical compass is your only guide through a storm of confusion. He describes losing social capital, facing false accusations, and even struggling with business setbacks. It's pretty vulnerable for a corporate press release.
It almost reads like a cautionary tale for anyone in leadership. Protect your brand, your morals, and don't let the noise define you. I kind of respect the transparency there.
Same here. And it's a reminder that once you gain a skill, a code, or a reputation, it's yours to use, hopefully for good. But you have to be vigilant about how it's shaped or misused by outside forces.
After digging into all that, the advisory drops a not-so-subtle warning for political groups, especially the Republicans. There's this whole what-if scenario for the next election cycle, almost like a heads-up that plans are already in play.
Exactly. And the reference to prior planning 1024 sounds so cryptic. It's like they're hinting at strategy meetings that the public never gets to see. Makes you wonder how much of politics is just chess moves we catch glimpses of after they happen.
It sort of invites everyone to pay closer attention. Like, don't just accept what you see at face value. There are layers, and apparently Mason Global wants all stakeholders, not just politicians, to stay sharp.
And with all these international shout-outs, England, France, Sweden, even Bruce Willis getting a mention, it's clear they want the message to reach far beyond local politics.
Last thing, after all the alerts and analysis, Mason Global wraps it up by spotlighting what they do best: conflict resolution, legal navigation, and life coaching. It's like their way of saying we've seen the mess and we're here to help untangle it ethically.
For sure. I appreciate that they don't just critique, they offer a blueprint for empowerment and ethical decision-making. And the fact that they're so open about their divisions, from business to digital services, shows they want impact at every level.
Totally. If nothing else, this advisory is a reminder that in today's tangled world, it matters who's steering the ship and who you trust to help you do it.
And maybe, just maybe, a little transparency and soul-searching could go a long way for everyone, not just the big players. I'm curious to see what ripples this advisory will make in the long run.